So in this video I go over more practice of dealing with the degrees of adjectives and adverbs. And just like in the other videos, I am going to be showing you the form of the underlined bolded words if we were to make them a comparative adjective, a superlative adjective, and then the adverb for all three degrees. And remember that for the comparative and superlative adjectives, we should keep the same number in case number and gender. But then for the adverbs, there's only one form. So that is obviously rather good. So we look at the sentence and it says, Sextus spotted a big building in the forum. A building which had been built by Caesar. Now this quote is revealing to us because if it is taking as its antecedent the identificium, it tells us that the identificium is the identificium we see over here, identificium, rather than that identificium. Because this identificium here telling me that it's neuter. The quote reveals it because for a relative to have an antecedent, they have to have the same number and the same gender. So this magnum that we see is accusative, singular, and neuter. Now, it is also irregular. Remember the 6 adjectives that are bonus, malus, magnus, and so forth and so on. Their forms are irregular and don't follow the same pattern that normally we see. So let's first look at magnum. Magnum here is going to then turn into maior and maius. Maius is the correct answer because the neuter accusative is identical to the nominative accusative. And likewise for the superlative, it will be maximum, and the neuter is the same, maximum. So that's what we have here. Maximum. And the joys of the adverbs is that they are the same always. Which in this verb, greatly, magnupere, more greatly, or just more, magis, and most greatly, or just simply the most, maxime. Move on to the second one, which we have celer. The fast cook of Cornelius received many praises. The food of whom or whose food, because this is genitive, qui qua quod, cuyus, is eaten by all the guests. So, I look at celer. Celer is nominative, singular, masculine, easy. So it is just going to be celerior. All I've done is added the IOR. I don't have to add any of those endings to it because celerior is right here. And it would just be that form in the nominative. And then, of course, here, celer. Remember, if the word, the adjective, ends with an R, you will not use issimus as the suffix, but rimus as the suffix. And rimus is what you see, celerimus. We love the adverbs because they're always, always, always one form. And so here, celer, third declension, converted with an E-ter to the adverb. The comparative adverb, celerius. Remember that the comparative adverb looks just like the nominative / accusative comparative adjective. And then over here, celerim. All you're doing is taking off that ending and adding the long E. So you're on your way to getting a perfect score on this 7-question quiz. Look at all the endings and all the forms and make sure that you are getting them correct. Now we scroll up to the next one, numbers 3 and 4. So hopefully able to do so successfully. There we go. So it says, Flores fuero pulchro apuiles fortibus datae sunt. So it says, flowers have been given by the strong girls to the handsome boy, to the pretty boy. Pulchro here, modifying puero, which is the dative indirect object, the receiver of those flowers, is then dative singular masculine. So here it would be pulchrior, and remember all all comparatives are third declension. So we go over here and it would be pulchrior, pulchrioris, pulchriori. And thus indeed that is the form that we have to modify fuero. And then superlative, remember it ends with R, so not issimus as the suffix, but rimus. And thus rim. And if we want, of course, a dative singular masculine, pulcherimus, pulcherimi, pulcherimo. All superlatives are first and second. The beautiful thing is that when we are dealing with the adverbs, only one form, pulchr. And what do we add? What do we replace the first and second declension ending with to make it an adverb? Long E, pulchre. The comparative, pulchrius. Remember, it is always identical to the nominative or accusative neuter. Comparative adjective. And the superlative, take that form, yank off the ending, and add the long E. Pulcherime. The next one, it's the same exact sentence. The flowers have been given by the strong girls to the pretty boy. Fortibus, modifying puellis. It is ablative, ablative of personal agent, plural feminine. So here we're going to take fort. So we snatched off the ending, leaving the stem fort. Add the IOR, letting us know that it is comparative. And remember, all comparatives are third declension. So it would be fortior, fortioris, fortiori, fortiorim, all the way down to fortioribus. That would be the ending that we need. So ibus, it is here. And then fortius, I should say fortibus, fort, and then we are now going to use the issimus. So we add the suffix issim, and now we've created the superlative stem by adding the suffix issim, and now we add our ending, which we need it to be girls, plural, dated. Or I should say ablative, my bad. Long is. Fortissimis, because all superlatives are first and second. We love the fact that all adverbs only have one form. Fort, iter. This converted into an adverb from a first and second. This converted into an adverb from a third. So iter is what we use. Comparative adverb is fortius. Remember, always ius for the comparative adverb. And then superlative, just take that form, snatch off the ending, and long E is what it's replaced with. That's it. All right. Hopefully you're writing these down and going to get yourself an easy free 100 by just simply watching this video. We scroll a little bit. Number 5 and 6. Titus Cornelius always praises humble slaves. Humiles with the long es could be nominative or accusative, but since it's modifying seros, case number gender is the same. Seros is accusative, so is humiles. So, humil, that's the stem. See, all you've done is chopped off that ending. IOR is what we have for comparative, and all comparatives are third declension. So, humilior, humilioris, humiliori, and all the way down to the accusative plural, humiliores. Just like that. For the superlative, humil. Now, which of the suffixes? Issimus, rimus, olimus. Well, humilis is one of those 6. Gracchulus, humilis, faculus, difficilus, similis, dissimilis. There are 2 of them that are pairs. And so you have to remember gracchulus and humilis is one of them. So you'll have lim. You see, you have the original stem plus the suffix now makes the superlative stem upon which you're going to put a first and second declension ending. All superlatives are first and second declension. So I want it to be accusative plural, masculine, first and second declension, accusative plural, humilimos. Adverbs, only one form. So here, humil, third declension, iter. Comparative, humil, and remember, ius. It is identical always to the neuter nominative and accusative. Other neuters would also have IOR with those neuter endings. It'd be humilioris, humiliori, but that would again be humilius, humiliore, humiliora, humiliorum for the neuter. It has an IOR. Of the 30 forms, only 2 have IUS. The nominative and the accusative, and the comparative adverb is identical to the nominative and accusative neuter. Comparative adjective. The superlative, just take that form, snatch off the ending, and humilime, most humbly. Humbly he does something, more humbly he does something, and most humbly. Number 6, Titus always has many cups of good wine. Good is irregular. And you have to take that into consideration. It is also modifying weenie, which is genitive singular neuter. So it would not be bonior. Don't give me that nonsense. That says gutter. Instead, melior. Because of over here, you can see the comparative. But you need to make it into the genitive. And I said it was here neuter, melioris. It would have been the same if you were masculine or feminine, melioris. Melioris for the neuter. So that is what we have to modify. We need a better wine, best wine. Optimus, optima, optimum. All superlatives, even irregulars, are first and second declension. Optimi. Adverbs you gotta love because they are always one form. But this one, mele and melius and optime. Those are your forms. Get that free 100. We got one more. Now, please note the word multa. It's the exact same sentence, but instead of highlighting the adjective bony, I've now highlighted the adjective multa. Now, when you look over here, you see that I actually have two forms of the one adjective. See, there are 30 forms of that, 30 forms of that, 30 forms of that, 30 forms of that, but I take these and I break it up into 15 for the singular, 15 for the plural. That is because it means much when it modifies something singular or a lot, and it means many when it modifies something plural. Think about it as far as mashed potatoes, which cannot be individualized, and French fries. I want to eat a lot mashed potatoes, but I want to eat many French fries, singular versus plural. So, we want to make it, of course, multa. This is the multa here, not the multa here. Not feminine singular, but it is neuter plural. And so, multa and multa. This is the multa we're dealing with, but it would be identical to the nominative, neuter plural, modifying pocula, many cups. So this would be plur, and we need to go over here to see. It's either plures for masculine and feminine, and plura all the way down, and then we are dealing with plura, and thus the accusative plural, plura. That is the answer that you see there. For the superlative, pluri, plurima, plurimi, plurimai, plurima, and thus it is plurima as well. For the positive adverb, again, just got to memorize it. It is multum, it is comparative adverb plus, and it is superlative adverb plurimum. You do something a lot, somebody might do something more, and then somebody might do something the most. It describes how you indeed do stuff. And so take these answers, having tried it on your own, and now make sure to go get that easy 100. You're welcome.